if she's lucky, a compound depressed fracture of the left parietal bone. He folds to the floor like a cheap prima donna, and she picks up his daughter and moves to the door. Oil has spilled on the carpet, and the lamp is extinguished. There is no blood that she can see. The door creaks as it opens, but it is too late to worry about that. She steps out into the suffocating quiet of the snowstorm. In fairy tales, such things happen at midnight. In fact, it is 2:30 in the morning, in a home belonging to the prominent Bauer family, the engineering Bauers, in the small community of Podersdorf, on the shores of the Neusiedlersee, Austria's largest lake. It is 1913, and somebody in this house is stealing a baby. 1910. Eve. Vienna, into which Eve Perret steps, crying frightened tears, is the greatest city in the Western Hemisphere. This is known for sure by its 1.5 million inhabitants. Art and music flourish, actors are gods, discussed in hushed tones in every coffee house. Is it true that Fanny Erdrich will reprise The Queen of the Night? The boy poet, Stefan Zweig, who'll survive the Great War only to end his own life in a suicide pact with his wife, struts along the Ringstrasse with his latest collection warming his breast pocket. Meanwhile, Maestro Leon is said to be consulting Herr Dr Freud for an illness in which he believes his human feet to have been replaced by the feet of birds. Even at this late hour, a mile to the west, Adolf Loos is at work on the new modern house on the Michaelerplatz. The foreman calls him over. Shards of glass and fragments of twine have surfaced among the new foundations. Loos unpeels his scarf from around his face and remembers the rumour about the Habsburgs' greenhouses being buried nearby. With fingers clumsy from the cold, he makes an annotation on the civic plans, a flourish of the pencil. Here, in the greatest city, new discoveries are made hourly and recorded for future generations. And there's this, too. The foreman holds up a Roman coin. The dirt has been rubbed off, and by the gaslight it shines gold. Vindo Bona is written round the ring. You see? Layers upon layers of lives, because Vienna is not just the best, but the oldest. People have flocked here since glaciers smoothed the peaks of the High Tyrol. The giant amusement park, the Prater, is lit up. Because Vienna is cosmopolitan, a replica Somali village is being erected for the general edification, complete with real Somalis. There is a problem with the structure of the pen. Opening will be delayed till next Tuesday. The Somalis watching, wearing 3 pairs of gloves each, are unmoved. They are lodging with a Frau Pischler, who serves them only vegetable consommé because someone told her they cannot digest meat. Omens abound. Mahler's symphony in E minor reprises triumphantly, but its hurrying chromatics are held to signal disaster. Migraine attacks afflict all women within a 5-mile radius. The conductor falls from a stepladder. When he dies, he has a bell installed in his coffin, as is the fashion, a precaution against being buried alive. Students make a vigil at the great man's graveside in the Central Friedhof, just in case. But Eve Perret knows none of this. She's shakily lighting a cigarette and standing in the shadows of some municipal building. Needles of freezing rain fall on the delicate skin of her parting. She is furious, heartbroken. Worse, she knows she only has herself to blame. They arrived at 5:30 that same evening. The train swept triumphant into the Hauptbahnhof, and as it drew to a halt, Julia Lindqvist looked at Eve and said, "Shall we?" Eve dared to look at Julia's face, really for the first time since the beginning of their journey. Julia, who has chosen Eve, who has left her husband behind. Julia,